Alright, so today we have another products I never reach for video. Products that I forgot about for one reason or another. Maybe they were hidden in my collection, maybe I just don't like them. We're giving them another shot in today's video. I love filming these videos because in the past when I've done these, I usually find a couple products from each video that I really like and then I kind of bring back into my routine. But I figured we would do a very spring 2019 look over here. Is it summer? It might actually be summer by the time you guys see this video. But if you're excited for this video and you enjoy while you're watching, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Alright, so I've got my bin of goodies here, a bunch of stuff I forgot I had / never reached for. So for a primer, I'm going to start out with this Hard Candy Sheer Envy Pore Defense Primer Serum. It says it smooths pores away. I don't even remember what I think of this. I might have used this like once or twice a while ago, like at least a couple years ago probably. I just have on my Paula's Choice moisturizer and Sunday Riley CEO, so that's where I'm getting the glow from, and my skin feels nice and prepped and moisturized. Feels more like lotiony than I was picturing. I was kind of thinking it was going to feel like a silicone primer, but it almost just feels like a gel kind of moisturizer. I don't think that did a whole lot for my pores. Maybe on my forehead right here, but around my nose area, it looks like it maybe slightly filled it in. Definitely not as much as some of my other kind of more pore-filling primers. This foundation by Wet n Wild, it's the Coverall Cream Foundation. I'm super excited to put on my face again because I'm pretty sure the last time I tried this was when I had oily skin before Accutane. I don't remember if I like this one better with a brush or a sponge, so I'm just going to go in with a dampened sponge first on this side of my face. I'm getting kind of light coverage on that side. It looks like it, you know, took down some of the redness, but not really getting coverage, so I'm gonna switch over to a brush. These earrings are the $2 ones I got at Walmart. I did a whole Walmart shop with me video. If you missed it, I'll put it in the description box down below. All right, so it's definitely not looking like full coverage. On the back of here, it says medium to full coverage. I think with a brush, I can get medium coverage. The finish of it is looking pretty nice and natural. Like, I can't really see it sitting on top of my skin. It's just not... It's not covering a whole lot. I would say this is low, medium coverage. For concealer, this concealer I never reached for because I really don't like it. This is the Kylie Cosmetics concealer in the shade Shell. This one reminds me of the ColourPop one. I just am not a fan of either of those, but we're using it today because I never reached for it. Maybe it'll just totally surprise me. You never know. I love the Kim K concealer. It's one of my favorites that I always use, but this one I never ever reach for. We still have some darkness coming through right close in, so I think I'm just going to take a little bit more, just a dab, and use a brush to get more coverage. I don't know, this one just doesn't do a whole lot for me, and I feel like the coverage almost like disappears as it's kind of sitting on my eyes. I'm just going to quickly take some NARS Vanilla Concealer right here on my scarring just to get a little bit more coverage. So for under eye powder, I'm going to try using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Warm Rose. I got this because someone on Instagram was talking about how good this was for under eye powder. You guys know my under eyes are weird, so I just have, okay, having issues getting this open. I'm going to try actually mixing this with the powder I've been using to see if I can make this one work for my under eyes. I'm going to try mixing it in with the Maybelline Superstay in 102. So I'm just going to kind of go back and forth between dipping in here, dipping in the Maybelline. MAC MSFs have like a slight glow to them. Finish-wise, I don't feel like it looks a whole lot different than my normal powders. I'm just getting less coverage. So I probably wouldn't use that for my under eyes again. But for the rest of my face, I'm going to use this powder from, it's actually from Etsy. I did a whole video testing Etsy makeup, and I really liked this powder in that video. And I've used it maybe like 5 times since, but I don't feel like I have found a way to like totally love it, but I like the coverage. And this is actually a different shade. I think this is the lighter shade than what I used in that video. It's in the shade Air One Ferrous Neutral. The Gourmet Rose is the brand. I'll have this and everything linked down below. I like using powder foundations to set my makeup because they don't take away any of the coverage underneath. So I'm just going to use my It Cosmetics brush and kind of swirl this around a little bit and then use it to set my cheek area. To me, it looks like it has a little bit of a glow, like a very subtle glow. I think I want to set my forehead too today. I don't know, I'm just feeling it, and I want to see kind of what this powder looks like all over. Normally I don't set my whole forehead, I'll leave like right here without powder because that's what looks the best on my dry skin, but I'm just curious to see what this looks like all over. And I'm also going to be trying a dewy setting spray, so I want to give it a matte base to see how much dew we can get. I would say that added a little bit of coverage. For brows, I'm going to try this pencil by Collab. This is their Shape and Shade in the shade Rich Brown. I don't remember what I think of this one. I've definitely tried it. I'm pretty sure I tried it in the Collab First Impressions video, but I don't remember if I really don't like this or if the shade was just off or what happened, but we're going to give it another go today. Okay, so I don't mind that one. It's just not quite as stiff as I usually like with brow pencils. I feel like I almost get like a little bit of the blurred line kind of look with this, which I'd rather just have a more like precise line. So I was looking super up close at my forehead right now, and it actually looks really good for having a powder all over it right now. I can still see like a little bit of a sheen kind of coming through. It looks like a satin finish. But for bronzer, I'm going to use this Bobbi Brown bronzer in the shade Medium 2. This used to be one of my go-tos, and I just haven't reached for it in so long. I did a bronzer declutter video, which you guys will be seeing, I'm pretty sure, after this. I don't know. It's either up or it's coming. But I went through my whole bronzer blush highlight drawer and did a declutter, and I rediscovered this when I did that. I actually want to try this on, there's a cosmetics brush that I've been liking for just all over bronze. This is the number 8 brush. I'm going to try one side with this and then see with a different brush on the other side. Because this one isn't super dense, like it's a pretty flimsy big brush, kind of just gives you like a wash of bronzer. I remember getting this bronzer in Houston with Mallory. We both picked it up, and the undertone is just really nice for fair skin. I know she loves this one too. I'm going to keep reaching for that bronzer because I do like that, and I just haven't used it in a long time. Another blush I haven't used in a long time. I don't know why I never reached for these. I think because I could not see them. Again, this is one that I discovered when I did the declutter video. I just couldn't see these blushes, and I had so many things piled on top of each other that I really have no idea what I had. But this one looks pretty intense in here, but I'm hoping it's just like a nice peachy wash of color, like a shimmery, summery kind of blush. This is in the shade Tiger Lily. If I'm remembering correctly, these blushes are a little bit intense, so I think I'm going to use my Sigma F15 Duo Fiber brush just to give like a wash of color without having too much. Oh yeah. Even then, I feel like I got too much right there. Okay, definitely going to have to tone that down. Yeah, these are really pigmented, those blushes. Back in with MSF just to tone it down, hopefully. So that blush, I think if I literally did a dab and then went in, I would like it. It does have a peachy look to it. This would be pretty for summer, or if you have like a little bit more of a tan. On my skin tone, I can't tell if it looks too orangey or if it just looks like a peach blush. For a highlight, we're going in with this e.l.f. HD highlighting powder. This is in the shade Starlight Glow. I don't know why I never reached for this. I think I've used this once or twice. Maybe I didn't like it. I don't really remember, honestly. We're going to go in again. It is emphasizing my texture a little bit, but not too bad. It has that like kind of wet look to it. Hopefully they still make this. I think they do. All right, I think I would use that one again. For eyeshadow primer, I'm going to try the Sephora Prime Base. Don't remember what I think of this one. I might have tried this in the cheapest products at Sephora video. I think this might have been on like major sale or clearance or something. Usually I just stick with my MAC paint pot because you can't go wrong. These kind of sheer primers just like take up the concealer coverage that's on my eyelids. It does feel like it's starting to kind of set down, but you really have to tap this into your skin and kind of give it a minute to not be super slippery. So an eyeshadow palette that I don't reach for is the Violet Voss Pro palette in the shade Taupe Notch. I got this, I think, on Hot Look, and I'm usually really into these kinds of shades, which is why I picked it up, like more cool tone browns and some grays and taupes in there. And I liked this lightest shade too, what I saw online. I think I kind of was like scarred by this. I think I tried this 2 times. I had one weird experience with it, I think. And then I think I actually wore it during like a Foundation Friday video or something and talked about it. And then I think I was kind of just like put off from it after that. The Violet Voss other shadows I've tried, I like, so I don't know if it's just something with this palette, or maybe it'll work totally fine today. I kind of want to do just like a mix of a crap ton of these browns, so I'm first going to go in with the shade Bestis. Putting that straight into the crease. Okay, this powder looks pretty good the more it's sitting on my skin and I'm looking at it, for having put it all over my face right now. Next up on my finger, I'm going to take the shade VIP. This one looks like it has some shimmer to it. Ooh, that one's pretty. Kind of matches my earrings. Okay, that shade's really pretty. I'm going to use a brush to get that more where I want it. I just like using my finger to first get it down. Then I'm just going to use that same shade on a brush and just kind of blend that higher. These two shades right here are like a little bit different undertone, but I wish they had a deep brown shade in here because there's not really any kind of dark shade to use at all to smoke things out. So I'm just going to take this, which looks like the darkest shade. And then without anything on it, just taking the Sigma E35 and blending out those edges. These things by Milk Makeup, the eye pigments, I never use, mostly just because they're not messy. I don't know. I just feel like these are harder to use than a powder eyeshadow, so I usually don't. I know that's just pure laziness, but you do get a ton of eyeshadow. Like this will last you for 15 years in this little tube. It's in the shade Peep Show. I'm hoping this shade is kind of like a gunmetal brown. Maybe I should put this on my hand first and make sure. That's pretty. I don't know if that's the look I'm going for, but that's super pretty looking. Let's see if the shade After Party will work better with this look. Wow, I thought it was going to be like a bronze kind of thing in here, but it's actually like a pink, but I think that might look cool with this. So I'm going to apply this towards the inner part of my eye, I think. That shade is so pretty. Holy crap. I'm going to be adding something right there to blend those two together, but for now I'm just going to bring it until about right there. Dude, that shade. Wow. To melt those two together, I'm going to go in with High. Hopefully this is kind of like in between that shade and the brown. I'm just pressing that right on the middle to kind of fade it out. I've got my tea in my Beirito Family Pittsburgh mug for one of you guys at the meetup. I love it. Wow, I can really feel that Milk Makeup thing on my eyes. It's like drying down, kind of like crunchy. For liner, I never use this guy. This is the Urban Decay Perversion Waterproof Fine Point Eye Pen. Don't remember why I didn't like this. We will find out. Or maybe I like it, I just don't reach for it. I don't remember. I test so many products that sometimes it's just hard to remember why you didn't like something or why you don't reach for it. But let's go in with this eyeliner, and then I am going to go in with bottom eyeshadow on the bottom. Oh, there it is. That's why. The tip of this is hard to get a wing because it kind of just bends and the product doesn't come out right at the tip. It comes out at the base. So you kind of have to turn it sideways. So that liner is definitely not for me. I like that it's matte black and it is black. It goes over the glitter fine. But as you can see, it's pretty difficult, for me at least, to get a like clean line with that. I'm going to use the ColourPop liquid liner. I've been testing this one lately and I do like it. It's a little bit different than what I usually use. It does have the felt tip, so it's not a brush like the Physicians Formula one, but it's very black. All right, so the Milk Makeup thing is getting kind of like thick and almost wrinkly. I can totally feel it on my eyes. It feels like I have something like hard and crunchy. For the waterline, I think I'm going to try this Makeup Forever Aqua XL liner in the shade 42. Wow, it's looking better on camera. I can't even see that in real life. I think the light's like reflecting or something on camera. The Urban Decay liner is also bleeding down into my inner corner. I know that's not the ColourPop one because, like I said, I've used that a few times and it's never done that. I want the lower lash line to be just like a really warm brown, and I feel like that's not quite in the palette. So I'm actually just going to go back in with the bronzer and blend that below. I'm going to pop on a little bit of my Milk Makeup brow gel that I always use, just because I feel like my brows are looking a little gray with this look and I need to darken it up and warm it up a little bit. This is so weird with this milk thing on. I feel like I have lash glue all over my lid. Before we go in for mascara, I'm going to try out again the NYX Dewy Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray. I feel like just out of all of the dewy setting sprays I have, I never reach for this one. This one kind of lives in my like cabinet makeup storage, not on my desk where I have a lot of my go-to ones that I use on like a daily basis. So I just haven't tried this one quite as much. The mister on this one has like spray in the outer part and then nothing in the middle. You can kind of see some of the like splashiness because this doesn't have like an even spray to it. So it's still drying down, but definitely looks like it added some major dewiness to my forehead that was like almost fully matte before. I have a lot of mascaras I never reached for, but one of them is the Clinique Chubby Lash Fattening Mascara. Don't remember what I think of this one. I think I used this in a first impressions video. I don't know, man, but that wand is not what I was expecting. I was picturing like the Too Faced Bread and Sex kind of wand. It's giving me some nice curl, that's for sure. Curl, and it's keeping them pretty separated. It's hard to see because I have a fat ass liner on right now. Let me look up. This one has 2 coats, this one has 1. I'm actually getting great separation. It doesn't look like clumpy at all. That was pretty good. I feel like I like this better this time than when I first used it, but you do have to build it up. I keep getting fallout from something. I think it's just the Violet Voss palette. So I never reach for 2 things, brown lipsticks, like deep brown, and metallics. I rarely use both of those, and I also haven't reached for this actual liquid lipstick brand before. This is the Urban Decay Vice liquid lipstick. This is in the shade Studded. So I'm going to try this out. Might look cool with this look. I don't know how this liner is going to go with it, but I'm hoping it's like a deep brownish red, and then I can kind of like layer this on. This is Maybelline 120 Rich Chocolate. Now let's go in with this metallic one. So this thing you definitely want to put on and then kind of let it sit there and just dry down. If you keep trying to layer it, it'll just kind of remove it. It's one of those formulas. So this is the final look. I'm going to quickly go through some of the standout products and things that I do want to keep trying. Overall, looking at my skin right now, for having a powder on all over and a liquid foundation, I mean, it's looking pretty good. My forehead looks great. Down here looks, like I said, a little bit too much in this area, but my forehead, you cannot tell I have a powder on at all. The Bobbi Brown bronzer, I really like the shade of. I'm going to keep using that guy. Clinique Chubby Lash Mascara pleasantly surprised me. And then this blush, I do like the finished look. If I want just a peachy, really summery kind of blush that has a glow to it, I would use this again. You just need to use a super, super light hand. Everything else I think was kind of like, probably wouldn't reach for again. I don't know. I don't not like this palette. It just, at this point, doesn't seem worth it to me. And a lot of the shades look very similar. I also keep getting fallout. So I'm pretty sure it's this thing, not the Milk thing, because the Milk thing feels like it's frigging glued onto my eyeballs right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. If there are any products that you can think of that I mentioned like years ago or that I used to use or something that you want to see in the next one of these videos, let me know down below in the comments. All of the products I used on my face are listed down below in the description box, along with earrings, shirt, nail polish info. Everything's down below. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.